All right. Good afternoon out there. This is episode 7 of the Handsome Cynic Live. My name is Angel Rivera, aka the Handsome Cynic, and I'm here with you guys for episode 7. I'm going to give everybody a minute or two to get on before we start. I want to thank everybody in advance for watching. If you're on now, please do me a favor and like the stream and follow and subscribe to the channel. So I think that's very important. Hmm, whatever, bitch. Well, especially if you can subscribe to my Rumble channel, those links in the description box too. I would greatly appreciate it. We have 17 subscribers, I believe. So if you appreciate me getting to 20, or I appreciate you getting me to 20, so I can do it Rumble exclusive streams, so I can talk about the stuff that I can't talk about on YouTube. So they're ridiculous terms of service. Now, before I get started, I wanted to discuss something else here real quick. Let's see. There's 4 people watching already. I want to thank you all for watching. So, how's everyone doing today? I can't even speak properly this morning. Like Mike most days. I tongue tie myself. I goddamn tongue tie myself constantly. So that's why, you know. Let me just share this page real quick. Oops. I suck. As you guys can see here, the INN YouTube channel has a join feature finally. We're able to have members on the INN channel, and we will be able to, you'll be able to sign up and join up as a member. I'm not sure how well this is translating over. Looks fine. Can you hear me? It seems like I got what here a couple times, so I'm making sure everybody can hear me. Anyways, you can join the channel. If to be an INN supporter, it's $2.99 a month. It's a recurring payment. You can cancel anytime if you don't want any more, which is no reason to cancel. Okay, I'm just making sure because old man Barker said what. That's why I'm like wait, can I be heard or what? Because it's kind of weird. Anyways, you become an INN supporter. Join the channel. $2.99 per month. You get loyalty badges next to your name in comments and live chats. As you can see there, I'm not sure how well this is translating over here, but you can get those loyalty badges there. If you're a new member, you'll get that new. If you're a member for a year, you can get it. You get that 1, 2, 6. No, that's a month. Sorry, not a year. So it's 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. So you get those loyalty badges. You get custom emojis too, which you really can't see here. I don't know if I'm making any bigger or not. Let me see. All right, it looks like I can. Oops. There you go. You get those loyalty badges. You get. Oops, I fucked up. You get these custom emojis down here. It looks like so far you see a yelling Anna, a yelling Jank, and Alex Jones. I'm sure there'll be more added eventually. So that's also there. You get member shoutouts, and you'll get priority replies to comments on streams and comments on videos and stuff. That's weird. Now I can hear you. Okay, because it seems like I don't know what happened there. That's kind of a weird glitch, I guess. But yeah, $2.99 a month, you get all those perks and benefits to joining the INN channel, and I would recommend everyone doing so. It'll help the network, and it also help our individual content creators to continue the work that we're doing. So yeah, that's me again. That's my stream from yesterday. So let me get rid of that. So that's that. Make sure you become a member to the INN YouTube channel. I'm not at 1,000 subscribers yet, or so I can't really. I don't have membership personally either, or any super chats or any shit like that. So, well, we'll get started now. The first story I wanted to discuss is this one. Let me make this a little bigger. There we go. So there's three stories that are. Let me just do that. Actually, no. Let me do this because I'm talking right now. There's three stories that's going to be get into today. One is apparently Alex Jones has forgiven Jimmy Dore for spitting on him in 2016. Not only that, but Alex Jones claims that Jimmy Dore is one of his really good commentator, one of his favorites, which is very interesting. The second story is a letter from Michael Cohen's attorney from 2018 that just resurfaced that claims that Michael Cohen paid Stormy Daniels the money out of his own pocket and nothing to do with the Trump organization or Trump himself or the Trump campaign. It's the second story. And the third story today I'm getting into is the whole drama controversy between TYT and trans activists. Excuse me. And if you haven't heard about this, I mean, it was all over Twitter yesterday to the point where I heard about it, even though I'm blocked by both Anna Jank and TYT. God, what's going on with me today? So, let's do a live one. Yeah, I mean, so those are the stories I'm going to do today. If there's time, I'll do one or two more, but those are the three stories I'm going to focus on today. What happened with what? You talking about with Anna, with TYT and the trans activists, or something else? All right, so I'm going to start with this Alex Jones story. Oh, well, basically what happened was Anna sent out a tweet about how trans activists shouldn't be calling a women birthing person or birthing people because it denigrates women everywhere. Then, of course, that sent off a shitstorm between TYT and trans activists. And Jank also jumped in and agreed with Anna, so that led to drama and attacks against TYT on Twitter by trans activists. So I'll give my opinion on that a little later. But right now I'm going to start with Jimmy Dore and Alex Jones. So the tweet says, "Wow, Alex Jones forgives Jimmy Dore. You won't see Graham Elwood doing the same." Alex Jones was wrong about Sandy Hook, but he's been right about a lot of stuff. He has also been doing his broadcast for a long time. In this clip, he tells that individual there he thinks that Jimmy Dore is one of the best broadcasters out there and forgives Jimmy for spitting on him. I happened to see this last night on Twitter. Like, no way. And I heard it was like, yeah, that's what he does. So I'm gonna play this clip for you guys real quick. It's like a minute, isn't it? Oh, it's 3 minutes, but I think it's important enough.
So we've reached out on Twitter, his site, everywhere, and he won't come on, which I think is just stupid. I think he's really funny, really smart, really has a way of saying things. I think he's one of the best broadcasters out there.
I don't agree with a lot of his politics, but I love that I can disagree with someone's political views, but then still know that they're being honest and truthful, this is what Jimmy is these days. He's someone who will call it as he sees it. And he's not always right.
But he's really funny. And that's my point is that
great.
The only reason I bring up the story is I did not crash their show.
Yeah.
I did not do the things they said I did. And I sure as hell didn't break into their building.
Yeah, so Jimmy says that you made him laugh so hard that he did a spit take. And that's why he spit on you, because he went with everything.
No, he was like a spitting cover. He spit on me from like 6 feet away.
The camera.
Hell, you got the video. Roll the video.
Yeah, if you guys want to play the clip of Jimmy talking.
I need to probably respond to that. Hold on. What the hell? Sorry about this. I need to respond to this real quick. Respond to this. What? Never understand why there's so many hating on trans folks, seems sadistic. I'm not hating, me personally, I don't hate on trans folks. I just think there are times where they go too far with their rhetoric and with trying to change certain things like birthing person or trying to change, certain like language, for because it doesn't make them feel good and they have, exclusive, they want more inclusivity, even though it doesn't make much sense to call women birthing person or birthing people or whatever. I didn't mean you, of course. Okay, no, I didn't think you meant me, but I feel like I need to respond to that because I've gotten some hate lately on Twitter saying that I'm anti-trans, even though I'm not. I'm just pointing out how sometimes they go too far with their rhetoric. And with when Anna Kasparian says you're going too far, you know you're going too far because she's a SJW hack 101. I mean, she'll go anywhere with SJW politics. She's willing to go to any lengths. But if she says you've gone too far, you've gone too far. Oh, okay. Yeah, things are expensive now. Sorry about that. I'm responding to a text and I don't have my phone handy, so I need to do it through my watch. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't mind trans people. In fact, if you do whatever you want with your body, but don't try to change the English language. Don't try to pretend that women are not women, they're birthing people because you want to feel included in that. When clearly trans women cannot give birth. So by definition, they're not women. They're trans women, which is fine. I mean, you want to call yourself a trans woman, please, by all means. Don't try to pretend that actual women are not women. You know, because you want to feel included, because you want to be called a woman too. Call yourself a trans woman, zero problem with that. In fact, I respect it, but don't try to change the definition of a woman because that's not a thing. Birthing person is a ridiculous term. It is. Yeah, that's all I was calling out. I'm not anti-trans. I'm not anti anything. The only thing is I just don't think that birthing person is a appropriate term. And as you guys can see now, back to Alex Jones. He says that Jimmy Dore is one of his favorite commentators, and he forgives him for spitting on him in 2016. And he wants Jimmy Dore to come on his show, but Jimmy won't come on. I think Jimmy should go on the show. Especially if Alex Jones forgives him. They can clear the air because I think they would agree on a lot of things. So I don't know why Jimmy still won't go on the show. It's his decision, I'm sure, but still, I mean, I would say I would want Jimmy to consider going on Alex Jones. Oh, keep
Talking
going.
about Alex.
All right, we got this from Mystery Guest. He says, JD is the best in the business. Lots of love to him. Ask him if he regrets spitting on Alex Jones.
Yes.
I hope so. You do?
Yeah. My story is that I had some iced tea in my mouth, which is true, and I went up, and Alex Jones is funny. You can't deny that he's not funny. And when I got up there, he literally said, "Hey, I'm just trying to be nice." And that was so funny. I had a spit take, and that's what happened. But he quit. He walked away immediately afterwards. So it worked. It diffused the system.
But you're saying you didn't just like spit on him out of anger? Is that what it is?
My story is he was being very funny, and it was an involuntary spit take, and I do regret it.
I'm not going. Everybody get the fuck off my stage! Get the fuck off my stage! Get the fuck off my stage! Get the fuck off my stage!
He literally said, "Hey, I'm just trying to be nice." And that was so funny. I had a spit take, and that's what happened.
I mean, obviously he's joking. He spit on me. It's funny. I don't care.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, clearly Jimmy is being sarcastic in his response there. Like, oh, my story is, he said, you see, I'm just trying to be nice. And Jimmy did a spit take. One of those things when you spit out your water when you're laughing. But that's not what happened. It's obvious that's not what happened. But that was Jimmy's version. It was supposed to be funny. He's a comedian, so of course he's going to try to make light of the situation. Keep going with this.
I thought it was funny back at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't even really know who Jimmy Dore was. I saw him on some on their show. But I mean, I watch him all the time. I think he's.
I do too.
I think he's funnier than Russell Brand, who is like Alex Jones now, which is great. I see that as a success. I've always wanted to become obsolete in that I know my worldview is right. Because here's a key point, Pink Trip. I've been on air almost 29 years. It'll be 29 years like a month. And I was reading all these globalist documents and their own books they wrote about their plan for the world. And I saw stuff they wrote in the 50s and 60s come true by the 80s. I saw stuff they wrote in the 80s come true by the 2000s. I know this is their plan if we don't stop them. So I know I've got great credibility in that you'll laugh at me now, but in 10 years when it's all happening, you'll remember. Yeah. So I really knew we had that secret power of the long game, and I was going to be in this for the long game. And so that's really where we have our power, is that this is a predatory system. And so that's really our success now, is that all over the place, Alex Jones in many ways isn't needed anymore. Though I've got to look over the horizon again and give you what's coming next. So much of what I want to do in the future, I'm doing it.
Alex Jones will always be needed in his mind. He said, I hope there's one day I won't be needed, but now I have to look towards the next 20 years and tell you what's going to happen then. So, yeah, I'm always going to be needed, but still, I hope there's one day that I'm not needed anymore. Yeah, that's bullshit. That's being Alex Jones, he's always going to be around as long as he's alive. I don't think he's going anywhere. I'd be shocked if he retires from his show or anything like that. It's like, get rid of this shit. I don't need advertisements. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to go away anytime soon. Because now he's talking about, I need to tell you exactly what's going to happen in the next 20 years, guys. So keep giving him money, keep giving me, all this other stuff. You got a crazy dome. Like my bald head? That's what you meant? Hold on. Yeah, I mean, I have to shave because A, I'm losing my hair, and B, I when I grow my hair out, something but white hair, so I look like I'm 50 years old. So when I shave, I don't look younger, but I look better too, I think. So which is why I have to shave my head off. Shave my hair off. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, and for some reason I have like a halo on my head because I'm sitting next to a window. So, which is why it looks like it, looks like it's really shiny and stuff. Who knows? Not really that shiny. Let's finish this video. It's like 30 seconds.
Now more is covered the future. So my work is always about the future and what the globalists want to do and how we should take control of our future and say humans deserve to try to direct our own destiny as a group, individually making decisions that adds into the collective. Yeah. So I'm not a collectivist, but I'm into individuals' actions adding into a collective intelligence.
So I want to defend Jimmy.
All right, and it continues, but that was the clip. They looking good, no need to respond to anything. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I respond is because I don't have much engagement in my chats, so I feel like I need, I respond to it because I'm bored. It's like I don't have much engagement, so okay, let me just respond to every single chat. But yeah, I don't mind. I mean, for now at least, if I grow bigger enough to the point where there's like 100 people here and they're all chatting at the same time, I can't really respond to every single point or say every single chat. But for now, it's okay. I have like 11 viewers anyway. So, but yeah, that's Alex Jones basically saying that Jimmy Dore is right. He's one of his favorite commentators, and he forgives him for spitting on him all those years ago in 2016, and he hopes he could have him on a show one day. And I personally hope that Jimmy Dore does go on Alex Jones because I think they would agree on a lot of things, not just on the issues they agree on. So let me say that there's the Michael Cohen thing I wanted to bring up real quick. Where is it? I'll get to that. Here it is. All right, so let's do that. Breaking. New bombshell document destroys Manhattan DA case against Trump. 2018 letter from Michael Cohen's lawyer to the FEC declares Joe Rogan has Alex Jones on frequency. Yeah, that's true, but has he been on recently? Because I remember the last time he was on was like, a year and a half ago? I don't know if he's been on recently, ever since the Sandy Hook trials. I don't know whether he's been on or not, but he's had him on quite a bit. New bombshell document destroys Manhattan DA's case against Trump. 2018 letter from Michael Cohen's lawyer to the FEC declares Cohen used his own personal funds to pay Stormy Daniels. Trump camp not party to transaction. Did not reimburse Cohen for payment. It's over. So this is this is allegedly why the Manhattan DA kind of delayed the grand jury from indicting Trump. So this is letter allegedly, from Michael Cohen's attorney. Again, I say allegedly because I don't know whether this is 100% accurate or not. So I can't really verify the accuracy of this letter. That's why I'm saying allegedly. But I think it's important enough to cover because it seems legitimate. So it says via email, Federal Election Commission, blah blah blah, Washington D.C., Chris Dennett, paralegal, la la. Dear Mr. Jordan, I'm writing on behalf of my client, Michael D. Cohen, in response to your letter dated January 30th, 2018. Specifically, the letter responds to the complaint by numbered MUR 7313, which was filed with the Federal Election Commission by Common Cause and Paul S. Ryan. In In a private transaction in 2016 before the U.S. presidential election, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Miss Stephanie Clifford, aka Stormy Daniels. Neither the Trump organization or the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Miss Clifford, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. Contrary to the allegations in the complaint, which are entirely speculative, neither Mr. Cohen nor Essential Consultants LLC made any kind of in-kind contribution to Donald J. Trump for President Inc. or any other presidential campaign committee. Mr. Cohen has not been a government employee during any of the relevant time period. The payment in question does not constitute a campaign contribution or expenditure, and therefore the FEC lacks jurisdiction over this matter. The complaints have not and cannot present any evidence to the contrary. Accordingly, that complaint should be dismissed. Please contact me at the earliest convenience at his phone number if you have any questions regarding this matter. Sincerely, blah blah blah, Michael Cohen's attorney. So, yep. Basically, this letter came out recently, and it could dismantle the case against Donald Trump in the Manhattan DA's office. So they're desperately trying to indict him at the very least. So I think it's more. For those not following the case closely, this is equivalent of discovering the murder weapon at the scene of the crime with DNA on it. Convicted perjurer Michael Cohen completely discredited. Soros DA Alan Bragg, I don't know about that, but it will be disbarred and face prison if he knew this. Another Trump hoax down the flames. Blah, blah, blah. Rob Reiner. This is like, who is this? Ed Greenberger, the only objective person left in America, moral awards, blah, blah, blah. He's a journalist. He's an alleged journalist, basically. Sigh, so pathetic. Then what is this check for? And have you forgotten Rudy spilled the beans a long time ago? The idea that Cohen would shell out that kind of money without being paid back is hilarious. Yeah, but here's the thing. There's no evidence that Trump paid him back. I mean, according to Michael Cohen's own attorney. So this is a check amount of $35,000. It's not 100 and what was it? It's not what was the original amount? I forget. Just read it too. 130,000. It's 35,000. So it's like, where's the other $100,000 to pay back Michael Cohen for the payment to Stormy Daniels? Where is it? That $35,000 could have been for attorney fees. So I don't know what. This is not evidence that Trump had any intention of paying back that money to his attorney. So yeah, again, I cannot verify the authenticity of this letter. I cannot verify whether this is actually real or not. Bragg has taken Soros' money for his campaign, for election campaign. Okay, I'll take your word for it because it's not. Hold on. I'll take your word for it because Soros has donated to a shit ton of Democrats. So I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out it's true that Bragg has taken Soros' money for his election campaign. Trump is really made of Teflon. Yeah, he is. I love calling him Teflon Don because he's literally, he's nothing sticks to him. This is not going to stick to him. That's why, in my speculation, they delayed the indictment of Trump today or yesterday. He's supposed to be indicted yesterday, but he wasn't because this letter came out around that time, where Michael Cohen's own attorney admitted, yeah, Michael Cohen paid out of his own pocket $130,000. Hi, Ghost Start. Michael Cohen paid Stormy Daniels, aka Stephanie Clifford, $130,000 out of his own pocket. It was never expected to pay back by the Trump organization, Donald Trump himself, or the Trump campaign. So by definition, this is not an in-kind contribution, and the FCC should dismiss this case. So ultimately, what's going on here is the Manhattan DA doesn't have a case if this is true. Because this is Cohen admitting either Cohen lied to the FEC or he's lying now to the Manhattan DA. So which one is it? It's not good either way, from Michael Cohen. So yeah, I think the Manhattan DA's case is fucked. They got nothing. I thought that I heard the Manhattan grand jury is reconvening because they are seeking other charges because the Stormy Daniels case blew up. No, essentially that's the case. At least that way I understand it. That's the case. Allegedly because Trump paid $60,000 to Stormy Daniels. Now, because Trump never reported it, so I think it's not the FEC but to New York law, to the New York election commission. Now all of a sudden that's an in-kind contribution, which means that Trump can be charged for lying and not telling the FEC, not telling New York about that $60,000 payment. Even though we at that point pretty much knew that Trump was seeing Stormy Daniels. So the case was a stretch to begin with, but now the case is pretty much dead. They don't have anything unless they indict him anyways, and try to make him bad in that case, and try to make him look bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to indict him anyways. So now let me go to my. Now I want to discuss the the TYT's controversy with trans activists. So let me go to my backup account. My guess is they are reconvening as a Hail Mary shot. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the case is over. I mean, unless they indict him anyways, just to make him, put him in handcuffs or not. It's not going to be in handcuffs even, because ultimately the Secret Service ain't going to allow a former U.S. president to be handcuffed. It's like not going to let him be handcuffed and have the perp walks like everybody else does. He's going to go in the back door. He's going to be read his rights. He's going to be fingerprinted. They're going to take his picture. He'll be released, and that's it. It's not like they. And then eventually, when nobody's looking, the case will be dismissed because they got nothing. Especially with that letter coming out. So let me. This is my backup account, by the way. I have to go because Anna Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, and TYT all blocked me. They all blocked me on my main account, so I have to go to my backup account. Follow me my backup account, by the way, at the bad guy AR if you haven't already, because I don't want if my main account gets put in Twitter jail or something, so I don't have to go looking. You don't have to go looking for me. Just follow me now on my backup account. So this is the tweet that's caused all this shitstorm and all this controversy from Anna. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. God damn it! No, not that. Oh, you son of a bitch. Alright, there we go. Alright, so this is the tweet that Trump ain't getting arrested. Of course not. Block party. Yeah, let's just. Anna's blocked me on my main account. So has Jank, so has TYT, so has Mike Figueredo, so has David Dole, so has David Sirota. Most of the shitlibs have blocked me on Twitter already. The only one who haven't blocked me is Kyle Kalinske and Crystal Ball. I'm trying to get blocked from them, by them, but so far they haven't blocked me. So I don't know whether they're trying to ignore me or what, because I've been making videos on them or talking about them in my streams and tweeting at them constantly. So I figured they would block me by now, but they haven't. So they're the only two who haven't blocked me from the shit libs. So this is the tweet that caused a shitstorm. So make this a little bigger, because. All right, here it is. Anna Kasparian, March 22nd, 2023 at 2:29 p.m. So it was yesterday. If you ain't blocked, you ain't doing your job. 100%. I mean, because if you don't call them out there, or if you suck up to them, they won't block you. So, yeah, I've been blocked by all of them. I was blocked by Anna because I kept comparing her to Sideshow Bob during her whole Jimmy Dore thing. Got to work harder to get the total shit lib blocking. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna keep tweeting at Kyle and Crystal and see if they block me eventually. But let me get this is Anna's tweet that caused a shitstorm. I am a woman. Please don't ever refer me as a person with a uterus or birthing person or person that menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can't support the transgender community without doing this shit. I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but I'm going to agree with Anna Kasparian 100%. Excuse me. I can't believe I'm doing this. I never thought there'd be a day where I agree with Anna Kasparian 100%. I mean, I've made plenty of videos on her and stream. I talked about it plenty on streams and shitting on her, and somehow I'm agreeing with Anna Kasparian. What the fuck? I don't like that. I don't like agreeing with her. But she's 100% right here in this case. She's a turf. Yeah, they've called her that. I mean, so I'm gonna look through some responses on Twitter. 18.6 million views this tweet got. And let me retweet it. In fact, something went what? Where's all the responses? Oh, here we go. Your side is going to roast you now. Hope you're ready for the tolerance. They have the right to speak their piece, as do I. My wife shares the same opinion. A broken clock. Carrie Lake responded to Anna. A broken clock. And then Anna says, I think you're an embarrassment to this country and a full blown lunatic. Anna, she's agreeing with you. Yes, I mean, I agree as well. Hard to agree to that female. Yeah, it's hard to agree with Anna, but I have to here. I mean, I have to. I don't want to, but I have to. She's 100% right. So, of course, she gets mad at Carrie Lake because Carrie Lake is, in her mind, some kind of idiot, but yes, like a broken clock is right twice a day. Here's the humanist report. Here's Mike Figueredo, the the out of his mind partisan hack Democrat. He's responding to Anna. I respect you a lot, but this notion that the mere existence of trans inclusive terms rarely used in casual combos somehow degrades women comes right out of the right's anti-trans war on women playbook. They're the reason why they are praising you for this. Jesus, Mike Figueredo, man. I mean, it's like you're desperately trying to defend trans activists when they clearly went too far here. To the point where if Anna's calling them out on it, you know they went too far. Yeah, she's like an SJW warrior. I mean, she's number one SJW warrior. Hey, Mike, you're the guy that has no clue what it's like to have your reproductive freedom taken away. But consider what it's like to have the same lawmakers who fail to protect our rights turn around and call us people with uteruses. It is not exclusive. It's cis women hates it. Cis women are straight women, basically. I hate it. It's like, let's say women. Say women hate it. Is there more to this? You heard it. Yeah, there is more to this. So I'm going to keep reading. How many people are actually referring to you using this language? It must be a lot for you to air this grievance in the middle of an international hate crusade against trans people. I'm sure Ben Shapiro is retweeting you because he supports your reproductive freedom, though. It is used by many major institutions, ACLU, CDC, universities, news agencies, and prominent progressive figure like ALC. And the guilt by association charge is lazy and lame. Jesus, these two are getting into fights even though they're friends. It's not about guilt by association. The point is, far right fascists are using your tweet for anti trans propaganda purposes. There's no way you're not cognizant of this. I respect you, but this is really disappointing. I genuinely don't get it, actually. And Mike Figueredo, here's the thing. She's right. She's right, and he's admitting it. It's not about. It's the point is far right fascists are using your tweet for anti-trans propaganda purposes. The reason why he's ultimately mad is because the right is using this against the trans community. That's why he's upset by this. Not because she's wrong. It's because ultimately the right's using this as propaganda to continue their quote unquote anti-trans agenda. There's a lot more tweets, a shit ton more tweets. Oops. All right, so let me go back. Jank also responds. Where's Jank's tweet? All right, go back. Here it is. No, this is not it, is it? No. Let me go to Jenk's account. It's easier because I know he tweeted about it yesterday. This was yesterday, so I have to go down. Damn, Jenk tweets a lot. Oh, here's one. The idea of making excuses for Anna Kasparian is hilarious. I think she is the single best talk show host in America. Well, I don't know about that, Jenk, but whatever. That's your opinion. How do you make excuses for Michael Jordan? Oh, wait a minute. You disagree with her. I hadn't thought of that. That's a pretty compelling counterpoint. I don't know about being the best talk show host in America. No, that's a joke. This is referring to Anna too. She isn't going to learn from this and will bring you down further, as often is the case. So that's the tweet that Jenk is quoting. Excuse me. This is the kind of patronizing attitude that makes people loathe far left extremists. Who the fuck are you to say that Anna should learn what to say? Excuse me. Here is a man explaining to a woman what she should call herself. This mansplainer probably pretends to be a progressive. Excuse me. I mean, why am I having hiccups there? If you think I'm going to tell my female co-host what she can call herself or what words she's allowed to use, you're nuts. And if you don't know me at all, we do something radical at TYT. We let everyone have their own opinion. I know it's a novel concept in media. So this is Jenk again continue to defend Anna. If you think our hundreds of videos defending trans rights aren't enough, and probably much more aggressively and loudly than anybody else in media, and that slight differences of opinion around the edges means we should be disowned, have at it, Hoss. Still love you though. So this is Jane going all in defending Anna here. Yeah, so that's it. So Jank had multiple tweets defending Anna Kasparian there. I don't know what to think about all this because I'm not a turf. I mean, yeah, I don't know what even turf even really means. I mean, it's like, I'm kind of confused by that, so. Uh, there's a shit ton of tweets about about leftists being mad at Anna. Let me try something. All right, so this one is interesting, and this is the one I wanted to look at. Okay, as a father of a trans son, oh, as a father of a trans son, I'm done with Anna Kasparian. Fuck you. This jab is needless, and yes, when you prefer of any person that may have a uterus, including trans men, as it's people with uterus, and the main show. Yeah, I mean, these people are very angry at Anna for her tweet. Why is this the only time Anna Kasparian actually mentioned something to do with trans people is to complain about the language instead of talking about anti-trans legislation? I guess that's supposed to mean you're doing the thing, Anna. You aren't helping anything by tweeting this. You're giving them ammo, in fact. I don't. It's like they're mad at her because she said what the truth is, and it gives ammo to the right wing for that. The right wing has a shit ton of ammo about this. They don't need a random YouTube reactor to send out a tweet like this in order to have ammo. I mean, to me, that's always been kind of ridiculous. To make that point is like, oh well, you're giving them ammo by sending out this tweet. It may be true, but please don't send out these type of tweets because it hurts our cause and it helps the right wing's cause. Yeah, they don't need ammo from left wingers in order to do what needs to be done. Anna Kasparian is anti-trans bigot who repeats the same talking points to people like Ben Shapiro's and others. She blocked me a few years ago for an exchange where I told her she was incorrect about over being anti-forced to vote. She has a history of being problematic. She's no ally. So this guy was blocked by Anna. Okay, blah blah blah. I say what I think as an independent person with an independent mind. I don't care what the right or left thinks. I have made myself clear being against any policy that harms the trans community. I maybe respect my personal boundaries too. Is that okay? She's not an independent person or independent mind. Partisan Democrat, but but she in her head she thinks that she's independent. Oh, sure you are, Anna. If you're independent, then I'm Republican. I mean, ridiculous. So spare me your crap about how you're an independent person. Trans exclusionary radical feminist. Yep. Identity politics whiner. It's like, yeah, I mean, Anna's like she's the queen SJW. I mean, nobody is a bigger SJW than her. But even if she's saying you're going too far, you're definitely going too far. Anna Kasparian's being roasted as a transphobe and a bigot for supposedly erasing trans women with her remarks. Incredible. He's a conservative. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. It doesn't really say here, but I'm pretty sure he's a conservative. Us trans people have it too good right now. I can see why Anna Kasparian wanted to take us down a peg. This isn't true. Look, God, if years ago these same people, these like liberal people, were in 2018. Remember when they said the future is female? Like, what does that mean? Even I didn't know what that meant. But when Democrats were running for Congress in 2018, that was their slogan. The future is female. Today, you fast forward a few years, now all of a sudden women don't matter. What matter is trans people and their feelings. That's the most important thing in America right now. Not women. Not biological women. They don't care. They don't matter anymore. What matter is trans people who are what? Less than 1% of the population? It's like you can win an election with just trans people. I mean, I don't know why Democrats are going all trying to die on his hill. I look forward to the Anna Kasparian Dave Rubin reunion. Anna Kasparian apparently only sees the term as inclusive, and it doesn't remind cis women that trans and intersex women people exist too. Look, no, Anna never claimed that trans and intersex people doesn't exist. Oh my god, it drives me crazy. I can't believe I'm defending Anna. First of all, I'm taking the time to defend her, but she's right here. And these trans people are going too far in their rhetoric. It's like, oh, if you point out how offensive these terms are to straight women, then or biological women, and then by definition you're ignoring trans and intersex people. No, that's not true. That's not true. As an over the top characterization of Anna's tweet. You can't transform society by excluding any marginalized group. Dog whistles by the one like the one used by Anna Kasparian feed into trans hate and make communities unsafe. Both parties play into culture wars, so it's truly inclusive revolutionary movement to move beyond them. Look, I like Professor Zenkis, but I don't agree with him here. It's not really true. I mean, nobody's trying to get rid of trans hate, and nobody's trying to get rid of trans people because you point out that when you say birthing person or birthing people or people with uteruses or whatever, all of a sudden now that's offensive to trans people. I'm sorry. I mean, that's also offensive to cis straight women, whatever you want to call it. So you shouldn't you've gone too far at that point when you offend when you go after cis women in general. Not just Anna Kasparian. It's not about her. It's about cis women in general. I have an old friend who is a trans man. When she told me about transitioning, it made sense. Yeah, I mean, if you're an adult and if you want to transition, by all means, I really don't. It doesn't really bother or offend me. what's happening here is that they are playing a press Olympics, and I'm sure most of these fights are purely on Twitter, and Anna knows what she's doing for clicks. Is she saying it for clicks? I'm sure it's possible. I mean, I'm sure that all the attention in the world that Anna is giving this is because she keeps responding to a lot of these tweets, so it isn't like she isn't responding to them. Let's see who. No, you don't understand. I'm looking for tweets that Anna's actually responded to. Anna Kasparian's never wrong, and don't criticize her for anything she says ever. I'm a very serious person. This is my tweet. If an SJW hack like Anna Kasparian comes out and says, "Don't call me a birthing person," then you know that the trans activist has gone too far. Yep, 100%. I mean, that's my tweet, so I know I'm right there. It's Kyle Rittenhouse, apparently. At least that's Christian Proud American. Again, I don't know whether this is actually his account or not, but I'm going to read it anyways. According to Anna Kasparian, abortion rights only apply to women, not to birthing people. Apparently, trans men do not have the right to an abortion. Only women do. Do you understand why this language exists? It isn't to insult you, a cis woman slash turf. I don't think that's Kyle Rittenhouse, actually, but the freak out Anna Kasparian's having over being called a person with a uterus instead of a woman is literally the same freak out trans people have when being misgendered and dead named. Call people for what they want to be called, not what they have told you not to call them. Yep. Okay. I assume dead naming means that you call them by their male name. Like for example, if I transition tomorrow and I say my name is Angela now, and if you call me Angel, which is my name, that would be dead naming me. I'm assuming that's what that means. I've never heard of that term either. Maybe you guys have. You can tell me in the chat whether that I'm correct or not on that. Let me go back to Anna's original tweet because I'm sure there's more responses there which have a lot more interest. Anna Kasparian transphobic. Holy crap! That's one to search. This is like trending on Twitter or something. Anna Kasparian indulging in a transphobic language. Blah blah blah. Jesus, I mean the shitstorm that Anna caused here is unbelievable. Like maybe, yeah. To me, it seems like she's looking for attention here. It's like she's definitely 16,000 responses and 98,000 likes, 2,271 bookmarks, 6,693 quote tweets, and 18.8 million views in this tweet. Holy crap! This has gone viral. Oh boy. How long before she issues an apology? I say 3 days. Over under 3 days? What do you guys think in the chat? Birth name Angel. Yeah, it's my birth name, but yeah, I mean, how over under 3 days? How many days before Anna Kasparian issues an apology? Now, my guess is maybe 2 to 3 days because TYT's audience, a lot of them are like these SJW political types, elite liberals. So I wouldn't be surprised if Anna's forced to engage in to apologize at some point. Liz Insufferable Wrench Winstead said on Twitter, "She a partisan Democrat? Yeah, I think she is. I've seen her tweets. I am a woman and I'm proud of it and I fight for us every day. But not everyone who deals with reproductive issues is a woman. Speaking with inclusion does not erase your womanhood, and you actually can't support the trans and GNC communities without inclusion." GNC? What does that even mean, GNC? Gender nonconformity, my guess? Because will she apologize? I don't think so. I don't think she will, but she might retract if it's too much heat. Look, the thing with that, yeah, I mean, she's a TY. She works for TYT, and a lot of their audience are the elite liberal SJW types. So it's going to be hard for her not to apologize at some point, because a lot of the audience might turn on TYT, and TYT is allegedly struggling financially. So if that's the case and start losing members over this, Anna Kasparian will have to apologize at some point and backpedal from this. So, but at the same time, I think she did this for attention. It's like, she knew that this type of tweet from her would go viral. Screw Google says, I have nothing against trans people. Live and let live. I agree. But I find this a bit hypocritical that they want proper pronouns used for them, but also they want to tell straight people what we're allowed to call them. Yep. I mean, it is hypocritical. Yeah, Anna can think what she wants, but this really ain't the hill for you to die on. But do you, girl? Yeah, I mean, Anna will have to apologize at some point. That's my suspicion. I could be wrong on that, but Anna will have to apologize, especially if TYT starts losing members. That's the one thing Jen cares about. Members, 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 members. Sign up for your membership. Give me money, give me money. If the money starts drying out because of this, definitely an apology coming from Anna. It'll probably be a non-apology apology, but still, it'll be an apology. Let me get to Anna's response though. Liz, I have zero problem with inclusion, none. But there's got to be a better way than boiling it down to a body part, no? Especially in the context of having reproductive rights taken away from people who just see women as a baby-making vessel. That's all I'm saying. Is there more to this? And hear me when I say I'm on the ground dealing with people who experience this harm 24/7, 365, and they're not all women. I've never shied away from my identity as a woman. And all folks want us to expand advocacy for all. This is what intersectional feminism is. Yeah, I don't know what intersectional feminism even is, but yeah, okay, so that's that. Michael Tracy says, I regret to inform you that you have just endorsed literal genocide. I assume it's sarcasm from Michael Tracy. I assume this is some kind of like sarcasm. Bridget Fatsley says, oh boy, how long before she I already read this, yeah. Based. He says it's based from men. Co-host from something something. I don't know what the show is. This is Matt. Whoever Matt. Friendly queer Jew with very long nails. He, they. Okay. Whatever. Hi, Anna. Nobody's asking you to call yourself or be called anything other than a woman. Anatomy-oriented language is used in a clinical context where anatomy is relevant. This argument is like a mousetrap set up by TERFs. Please don't take the bait. I didn't understand most of that because it's like the overeducated crap that I don't like. Let me try that again. Hi, Anna. Nobody's asking you to call yourself or be called anything other than a woman. Anatomy-oriented language is used in a clinical context where anatomy is relevant. This argument is like a mousetrap set up by TERFs. Please don't take the bait. Jesus. Again, it goes right over my head because I don't know what she said there or he said there. Anna, the arguments made by Jake and Anna are hilarious. She should not have to apologize. Anna isn't attacking the trans community. The trans community is claiming words, thoughts, and slash opinions they find problematic must be eliminated to respect them. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe I'm spending time defending Anna, but again, I am. She's right, even though she blocked me on Twitter. They are the hypocrites of the highest order. Yep, they use birthing person only in a medical terminology. Yeah, I that's the thing. I mean, if it's not used in like general societal context, fine. But at the same time, it's like when people use Latinx. It's like I hate that. It triggers me every time when somebody uses Latinx. As if you follow me, you know that you see my videos or you see my streams, you know that Latinx just triggers me. Birthing person, I'm sure is annoying to most women. Hmm. All right, let's see if any more that's interesting. Biden administration. Anna, that might be one of the most turf things you can say, just saying. Who's this guy? Political graduate, gladiator from southern Indiana, blah, 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 former congressional candidate. A sensible mainstream take that would actually absolutely trigger the shit out of very online progressives. Who exactly is referred to you by those terms? I agree, I'm a dude and I'm pissed for you. Yeah, as a man, I'm pissed off too, which is why I try to defend women as much as I can on this. You are a cisgender birthing person with white cisgender privilege, and a man can be a woman if he wants to, simply by thinking it. These are your rules. You must not live. Not now. You must now live by them, birthing person. This is calling out Anna's hypocrisy on this because she is like the queen SJW woman, from TYT, and now it's a good point. I mean, I should maybe retweet this. It's a good point, I mean, Anna's like I said, she's a like the queen SJW woman who loves everything about social justice warrior politics, and now she's complaining about it. Now she has to she has to lay in her own bed because she's the one who started kind of pushing a lot of this stuff. Uh oh, you just said something that mildly at odds with the Alphabet Mafia's approved narrative. Good luck to you. I plan to refer to men as penis people or sperm sacks. Fertilizer person instead of father. Got to say though, sperm sacks is kind of my favorite. I have a biology degree from John Hopkins. I am a woman. Sperm sacks will not define me or gaslight me. That is all. Independent for Congress. Reform now. It's a pretty funny tweet though. Alright, so let's see if there's anything else interesting before I move on from this shit. Because I'm already getting bored by this. Yeah, so I don't like Latinx either, but I ain't gonna tweet about it and scream how oppressing me. Free the kids in the cages instead. Yeah, good point. I mean, it's Yeah, I mean, but AOC ain't gonna say that. AOC is gonna wants to keep those kids in cages because Biden's not president. You notice how she's not calling those cages concentration camps anymore. In fact, she's ignored the story entirely since Biden became president. So with Anna focusing on birthing person talk about abortion rights, instead better start organizing. Yeah, Anna would never organize. She's too lazy for that. What she'll do is she'll spend time in her studio yelling and screaming about it. And meanwhile doing nothing because she's far too lazy for that. So let me retweet this. There you go. Is there anything else? Let me see. Is there anything else I wanted to do? Whoops. Nope. Main account. Wow, we're nearly an hour in. Time flies when you're interested with these stories that are interesting like this. Oh, there's more? There's more about the Michael Cohen thing. I should have probably looked at my bookmarks before I moved on. This is interesting from Margaret Kimberly. She says, and now that we remember the U.S. war crimes against Iraq began 20 years ago, let us also remember that Oprah Winfrey was among the war propagandists. Quick flip from Bill Moyers buying the war. What is this? A minute long? Okay, I can play this. Oops, I didn't. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't actually share my Here I'm playing the shit. I didn't bother sharing my screen. So let's try that again. Forgot to share my screen. Everybody on the stream, do me a favor, like the stream and subscribe to my channel. If you're on INN's channel, the link to my channel description box below. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and like the stream. Oops, why did I just do that? All right.
Even Oprah got in on the act, featuring in October 2002 New York Times reporter Judith Miller.
The U.S. intelligence community believes that Saddam Hussein has deadly stocks of anthrax, of botulinum toxin, which is one of the most virulent poisons known to man.
Liberal hawk Kenneth Pollock.
And what we know for a fact from a number of defectors who've come out of Iraq over the years is that Saddam Hussein is absolutely determined to acquire nuclear weapons.
Bullshit. It's all lies. All propaganda. You know. And Oprah Winfrey gladly participated in the propaganda because she wanted the money.
And is building them as fast as he can.
And the right-hand man to Ahmed Chalabi.
And so, do the Iraqi people want the American people to liberate them?
Absolutely. In 1991, the Iraqi people were...
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Iraqis didn't want Americans to liberate them. It's like, why in the world would they want the Americans to liberate them from Saddam Hussein? Saddam Hussein was the one who's keeping that country in check. You know, so the Sunnis and the Shiites wouldn't fight each other. Instead, what they did, once they took Saddam Hussein out of power, whoops, it turns out that Sunni and Shiites are now fighting each other. And Iraq is basically a failed state. Congratulations. Afghanistan also, same thing. It's also a failed state. Whoops. Oh, so is Libya, by the way. Let's not forget Libya. After they killed Muammar Gaddafi. Also a failed state.
I hope that doesn't offend you.
When one guest dared to express doubt.
I hope that doesn't offend you. You see, one of her audience members is calling out that bullshit. And I hope this doesn't offend you. No, I don't give a shit if it offends you. It's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. America wanted to separate Saddam from his American payroll. The CIA sent anthrax to congressmen who talked against the Iraqi invasion. You know what's funny about the whole anthrax thing? At the time, I was a teenager and I didn't notice that. And now as an adult, it's like, oh, what a coincidence. Who got the anthrax? All the Congress people who were against the war. Huh, that's weird. You know, is that a coincidence? Yeah, and then they blamed it on Saddam Hussein. It had nothing to do with it. Like, think about it. Why in the world would Saddam Hussein actively piss off the U.S.? Especially since they did the Gulf War at that point 10 years ago, the first Gulf War. But now all of a sudden, he's going to actively try to piss off the U.S. and send anthrax to Congress people and to build nuclear weapons, which by the way, he didn't have. And he stopped building them in the early 90s, but around the time of the Gulf War. So, ridiculous, pathetic propaganda, but it worked. Most Americans were pro the invasion of Iraq by the time the invasion happened. A little bit more of this.
Oprah would have none of it.
I just don't know what to believe with the media.
Oh, we're not trying to show you propaganda.
Yes, you are. Exactly what he's doing. Oprah, we're not trying to show you propaganda. It's like, yes, you are. That's literally what you're doing. That's literally what you pay to do. Propaganda. That's what the whole point of that segment is and that show is. That's why even our own audience was like, I don't know what to believe because, but we're not trying to show you propaganda. Shut the fuck up. This is real. This is what's happening in Iraq, Meanwhile, it turned out it was all propaganda, which Oprah Winfrey gladly participated in for the money because she didn't want to be kicked off the air, I'm sure, because the U.S. wanted to go into Iraq. And since she doesn't have to go in herself or any of her family members, that's why she's like, well, I don't care. Yeah, of course I'll do propaganda for the money. they treated Scott Ritter like he was John Ritter. Yeah, I mean, the whole Scott Ritter thing is just unbelievable to me. It's like, really? Just because he allegedly did something years ago, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden he's wrong on everything he says. That Oprah did a Ryan Grift. Yeah, I mean, okay, why is Oprah on the screen? She's carrying water for Smoking Gun, Mushroom Clown, etc. Yeah, exactly. She's carrying water. It's not 6 seconds of this.
And we're just showing you what is.
I understand that.
Okay, but okay, you have a right to your opinion. You know
right.
No, you have the right to your opinion, girl, but it's not valid.
Even Oprah got in.
I'm not going to let you actually get away with that. If we're gonna end this here, you're going to like the war, bitch. And let's see what Oprah said. Because that we have to fight this war. You're gonna like this war, bitch. That's actually what she was saying. I think Marianne Williamson come on after that segment. Marianne Williamson, she's a horrible candidate, man. It's like, in fact, you know what? I wasn't planning on this, but I want to check what Kyle Kalinski's doing today. Because he's one of my favorite YouTubers to attack and call out. Because he's so ridiculous and lame. And oh, he's doing a 1 million subscriber live stream. That's what he's doing right now. Did he upload anything on Marianne? CNN whines about lost productivity from March. Radio executive execute Obama. Trump is arrested. More bullshit. Trump arrest is violation of the Bible. Howard Stern begs Jon Stewart to run for president. Who cares? Fox host desperate to protect DeSantis from Trump. CNN whines about lost productivity from March Madness. La la la. He's doing a 1 million subscriber stream. He's finally getting to 1 million subscribers, guys. His association Crystal Ball finally is paying off for Kyle. Because he was stuck, at 970, 980 for like years before he finally got to 1 million. Now he's like at 999 last time I checked. So, oh, he's getting to 1 million. He's going to do a stream now. He gets to 1 million subscribers, and he's going to celebrate it when he should have been at 1 million years ago. But he wasn't because his content is shitty. So I don't care enough to even look at that. Hold on. Russia. There's a lot of Russia propaganda out there lately. Russian jets flew over U.S. Syrian base nearly every day in March. How dare they, motherfucker? Let me see. This is interesting.
To some breaking news now, an NBC News exclusive with the top U.S. commander telling our team that armed Russian jets have flown over a U.S. military base in Syria nearly every day this month in violation.
Did they attack? No, just flew over their base as saying, look, motherfucker, we can attack you if we want, but we're not going to do it because we're not going to piss you off further. Because U.S. are psychopaths, and they will start World War III over this. But it's just let you know, hey, look, we can attack you if you want to.
Violation of a 4-year-old agreement between Washington and Moscow. This is according to the jet.
Who cares? The U.S. has violated every single agreement they have with Moscow over the last few years. Last 10 years, nearly. You're telling me now all of a sudden that Russia starts flying jets over a U.S. Syrian base, so all of a sudden now that's outrageous when we violated every goddamn agreement we had with the Russians in the last 10 years? Unbelievable.
The general in charge of air operations in the region, Courtney Kuby, our Pentagon correspondent, has just broken the story for us.
What the fuck was that?
Scrambled to
What the fuck was that? This reporter here on the right is like she did this. She did like that as soon as she got her name was called. Like what? Like what the fuck? I didn't know I was supposed to be on right now. Watch.
In the region, Courtney Kuby, our
Pentagon. Wait, let me actually do this, and let me go back.
in Moscow. This is according to the general in charge of air operations in the region. Courtney Kuby, our Pentagon correspondent, has just broken the story.
What was that? She does this.
She scrambled to a camera. She is joining us live. Court, it feels like, and your report
It's like she
indicates-
wasn't expecting to be called on. It's like she's staring into the abyss. She's like, "Oh, Courtney," like, like what?
There is the risk here is of escalation at a very sensitive time
Yeah, jab
already
after
between the
jab.
U.S. and Russia. Talk us through it.
Yeah, that's right. So what we saw over the Black Sea last week is the perfect example of how something like this could go wrong quickly. The concern
And you're talking
here
about
is,
over the Black Sea when that
Exactly.
Russian jet dumped a bunch of gas or fuel on this American drone. It was like a whole big thing.
Right. And it wasn't just that. It wasn't just the dangerous flying.
Wait, I like this comment. I wonder if AMLO will spill how we're blaming the cartels we armed and special forces trained as a reason to invade. He's already said the U.S. has no moral high ground with Julian Assange in jail. Yeah, I mean, the U.S. is looking for any pretext to invade Mexico. I mean, at this point, it's almost no doubt. It's like, oh, yeah, yeah, well, the cartels, we need to. Pete Buttigieg, who went for president, talking about how we needed to invade Mexico over the cartels. So how about this, motherfucker? How about legalize drugs? That way you have no need for these cartels. Because now you legitimize the market and everybody can buy their drugs wherever they need them, either it be marijuana or cocaine or any other illegal drug that should be legal. Instead, the U.S. is just talking about escalating to the point where they want to invade Mexico with U.S. troops on the ground. We're like in 7 or 8 countries already. Oh yeah, let's just invade Mexico too for no reason, and fight the cartels over there, so they don't fight us here. Exactly, legalize is the only answer. But they won't do it because, it's too much money in the war on drugs. Yay! Let's keep conditions extremely dangerous, so anything bad that can happen at any time. Don't give peace a chance, that's too risky. It's too risky financially for the military-industrial complex and the gun manufacturer. Far too risky to have peace, because that means their profits will go down like crazy. So this is not, I realize this is not that important. This is just top commander. Ukraine will hit back at Russia and Bakhmut very soon. President Z wraps up Russia trip with message to the West. Former Russia leader said any attempt to arrest Putin will be a declaration of war. Well, that's Dmitry Medvedev, isn't it?
Вот представим себе, понятно, что это ситуация, которая не реализуется никогда, да? Но тем не менее, вот представим себе, что она реализовалась. Действующий глава ядерного государства приехал вот на территорию, допустим, Германии и подвергся аресту.
You can't really see this, so let me go back. I'm actually going to try. Oops. I fucked up.
Что это? Объявление.
I'm going to read this because you can't really see it.
Вот представим себе, понятно, что эта ситуация.
Let us imagine, obviously, it is a situation which is never going to happen.
Никогда, да? Но тем не менее, вот представим себе.
But nevertheless, let us imagine a situation that came true. An incumbent leader of a nuclear state had arrived, for instance, in Germany, and was arrested.
И подвергся аресту. Что это?
What is this? Declaration of war on the Russian Federation.
Российской Федерации. Теперь серьезно.
And now, in earnest, is it a threat? Is the threat of nuclear conflict gone? No, it's not.
Миновала ли угроза ядерного конфликта? Нет, не миновала. Она возросла.
It has grown. Every day of foreign weapons delivered to Ukraine ultimately brings this very nuclear apocalypse closer.
Приближает вот этот самый ядерный апокалипсис.
Yep. Well, he's not wrong. Dmitry Medvedev is not wrong there. He's actually correct, in his assessment there. What is he now, the prime minister or the vice president or whatever? He was president for 4 years of Russia, and Putin was the prime minister. At best, he's an idiot. John Kirby lambasts Russia for awarding fighter pilot who hit U.S. drone. Let's see what John Kirby has to say. This motherfucker.
On Putin's behavior, the Russian defense minister also awarded orders of courage to the two pilots that were involved in the downing of.
What was that?
One other quick one on Putin's behavior. The Russian defense minister also awarded orders of courage to the two pilots that were involved in the downing of the U.S. Reaper drone. You know, obviously the U.S. made it very clear that we found that to be unacceptable. Just what do you make of Russia portraying them as national heroes?
Well, they shut down a U.S. drone in their territory. What does the U.S. get off thinking that they can send drones to other countries' territories and get away with it? Is that every other country lets them get away with it? No, I mean the Russians shot it down, and there's awards given out to the Russians who shot it down, and that's it. The U.S. shouldn't whine about it. Imagine for a second if Russian drones ended up over Kansas, or ended up over New Jersey, or ended up over California, or New York, or Washington, or whatever. And if we decided to shoot it down, if we reward the pilots for doing so, should the Russians then get mad and say that they shouldn't do it and he's an idiot and how dare they? No. I mean, anybody, naturally, we in the U.S. are so arrogant that we think that we can do whatever the fuck we want, and if the Russians or any other country counters us, then they're a special kind of criminal and they're evil and they should be taken care of quickly. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. That's American exceptionalism, and it's outrageous to me. Yep, legalize, tax, and regulate people who are going to use drugs. We should make it safe, though. Regulation and use taxes to educate and fund detox center. Cartels will virtually collapse. 100%. They don't want cartels to collapse. They don't. They don't. The cartels are the reason why they keep financing the DEA. They keep financing the CIA. That's how they keep financing them. So they finance both sides of a war. Okay, fine. Let's give weapons to the cartels, but at the same time, let's give weapons to the DEA and CIA and money in order to fight these cartels. To be fair, the CIA doesn't really fight the cartels. What they're doing is they're actively helping the cartels bring drugs into the U.S. That way, you can justify DEA in order for them to come in and arrest these drug lords. It's all a game. It's all a political game played on us, and we're falling for it. Like and Americans are falling for it. Oh, drugs are terrible. Drugs. What about alcohol? That's a fucking drug. Alcohol is a fucking drug. Beer and liquor and what about Percocet or all these legalized drugs which can kill people? What is it? Percocet or what's that painkiller that leads you to take heroin? Why am I forgetting what it's called? I'm going blank on it, but it's like a really strong painkiller that can lead you, once they run out, the prescription goes away, it leads you to taking heroin because it's very similar. And somehow that's legal. The painkiller is Oxycontin. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, somehow Oxycontin is perfectly legal, but cocaine is not. Heroin isn't. Like, why? It's the same drug essentially. Because ultimately the government can take their tax money off of it. Every sale, government takes their piece, a part of tax money. Yeah, thank you. It's Oxycontin. That's what it was. Yeah, I mean, I blanked on it for some reason. What time is it? I had a little more time.
I don't know of another military in the world, another Air Force in the world that would award a pilot for smashing into a drone. If that's bravery, then I guess they got a different definition of it. It's ludicrous. It's insulting. Now, we don't know whether that pilot was trying to...
Oh, poor baby. The U.S. is insulted because one of their drones, which they spend millions of dollars on, was destroyed. That insults us here in Washington. How dare they? Fuck off. I don't care if Washington's insulted or not.
Trying to intentionally ram that drone or not, but he did. Video evidence was pretty conclusive. Either way, I mean, in the Navy I grew up in, you don't want to hit anything. Hitting anything's bad for you. So, like, I'm sorry. I got to throw the flag on this one.
Unless it's a school or a hospital, or you do double taps, like in Syria or Iraq or Afghanistan. That's okay. But everything else, you hit anything else, that's horrible. But as long as you hit hospitals and you hit hospitals and schools and do double taps in Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, etc., that's okay. The United States not only will the United States defend you, but they'll give you awards for that too. Like Putin just did, or the defense minister in Russia just did to those pilots that shot down that drone. So hypocrisy beyond from the United States. Lost two good friends to fentanyl this past year, but their addictions began from other opiates. I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, I mean these opiates are just awful. How dare we call out the imperialist BS narrative? This is Planet America. You didn't know? Slimy and bird-looking creature. Yeah, America thinks they run this planet, and it's absolutely the American exceptionalism thing has taken over both parties. Hell, it's taken over most of the online left. I mean, they openly talk about how America should have the right to sanction Russia, and how we all need to sanction Russia, and blah 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 blah, and give them weapons, give Ukraine weapons over this. Russian missile strikes residential building in Ukraine. Putin heckled during a surprise Mariupol visit. I've seen this footage. I didn't see Putin heckled at all. Probably a made up headline from CNN just to get you to probably clickbait. Let's see. Anything else that kind of sticks out to me? Xi Jinping leads Moscow's Russian missile and drones attack Ukraine. Let's see if there's anything else that's interesting. Maximum Boots. Max Boot is like one of the worst people out there. I mean, let me see. I saw it too, but that's censorship in Russia is getting insane. Who is this fucker? Never heard of him. NFKRZ? It must be some kind of anti-Russia channel. Max Boots underscores one of the biggest division in Russia-China alliance. This is CNN essentially trying to underplay this deal with this attempt at peace by China with the Russians in Ukraine. That's what this is. They're trying to undermine it desperately. So I'll watch some of this, but
Chinese President Xi Jinping is back.
I got to wrap up soon, so I'll watch some of this.
In China, following a three-day summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Despite being pegged as a peacemaking journey, their meetings didn't produce any breakthroughs when it comes to Russia's war on Ukraine. Joining us now, Max Boot, a senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, columnist for the Washington Post. Max, good to see you.
The Council on Foreign Relations, you know, those are like warmongering motherfuckers there. So we all know that Max Boot is going to try to undermine this possible peace deal led by China. China trying to lead a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. So let's see what this motherfucker has to say.
To see this morning certainly did produce plenty of photo ops, which was good, I think, for both sides in terms of what they wanted out of it. When we look at, though, where this puts the world, John Kirby saying we can't reasonably look at China as impartial in.
What is that? Is that me or is that coming from this video? That noise is it's like somebody moving furniture around.
Max, good to see you this morning. Certainly did produce plenty of photo ops, which was good, I think, for both sides in terms of what they wanted out of it. When we look at, though, where this
right there, what is that?
World, John Kirby saying we can't reasonably look at China as impartial in any way.
There has to be furniture being moved on Max Boot's side because it's like. I'm not sure you guys can hear it over the stream or not, but that was weird. I'm looking at my phone like, what is that? It's not me. Sounds like somebody farted too. It's like I know I didn't fart, so that's why it's like, What is that?
Earlier this week, this relationship, he was noting, is more about pushing back against the
There it is
West,
again.
particularly pushing back against
Like
the
a fart.
U.S. What's your level of concern about this deepening relationship between China and Russia?
Could be. Maybe they're fracking under Boots' house. Maybe. This sounds like either furniture moving or someone's farting, but I know it's not me. That's why I was like, wait, I didn't fart. What's that noise?
I am concerned, but I'm not panicked. I might start to hit the panic button if China were actually to start providing munitions for Russia, and particularly artillery shells and missiles. Russia is running low on both of those types of munitions. They desperately need them from somewhere. If China were to provide them, that could really tilt the balance of
There it goes
power
again.
in the war in Ukraine. That is not happening so far. China is providing economic support to Russia in the form of microchips and cell phones and other things that are now embargoed by the West. And of course, China is benefiting from oil that Russia sells to China. But it's...
Hey, motherfucker, how about this? How about stop? Could be computer fan or sump pump. Yeah, it could be. But it sounds like somebody moving furniture around or farting. It's like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? But yeah, I mean, here's a crazy thought. How about this? This is what the U.S. didn't want. They didn't want a ally. Torture not unlikely. This is exactly what the U.S. didn't want. They didn't want Russia and China to become allies because they have a complicated history too. So they didn't want them to become allies. And all of a sudden, now they're allies pretty much. It's like, oops, what do we do? Yeah. So how about not start this war? How about that? But no, they started this war because they had to. They had to protect Ukrainian Nazis. Obviously. They had to start this war in order to make as much money as they can and to protect Ukrainian Nazis from the Russians, which is why this war has gone on over a year now. So the idea that they're shocked and they're trying to undermine this this China-Russia relationship is just unbelievable to me. But not surprising because I'm not saying unbelievable, but it's not surprising because what's Russia going to do? Just sit on his ass and let their economy get destroyed? Of course not. They made deals with China. They made deals with India. They made economic deals with India. There's economic deal with Saudi Arabia. That's a big one. China also brokered a deal between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Another huge deal, economic deal. So slowly but surely, it seems like China is becoming the world power. And the United States is fighting imaginary enemies in Ukraine, doesn't exist. We're too busy arrogantly fighting enemies in Ukraine while China is swiftly becoming the world's police and trying to broker peace between between Russia and Ukraine, and they have an economic deal. They brokered an economic deal between Saudi Arabia and Iran. And meanwhile, we're fucking in Ukraine acting like, yeah, I mean, we're protecting democracy. Oh shit, turns out the Chinese are actually getting economic deals done and trying to get peace in Ukraine. Oh shit, we're kind of fucked, aren't we? Our empire is falling apart here. Oops. And Max Boot's going to continue to try to push this Ukraine war because that's all Washington's good for, just pushing more war.
It's still very much a limited partnership, and it's something that is certainly of concern, but it's not what China is doing is not a game changer in the war in Ukraine.
What about on a broader level? Are there specific signs that you'll be looking for in the coming weeks and months in terms of this relationship between the two beyond the war in Ukraine?
Well, I think that's the big one. Is China going to step forward and provide weapons to Russia, which is something that the Biden administration has warned about. But, China has been reluctant to do that. And I think what we're seeing is that although before the war, China and Russia proclaimed this limitless friendship, there are actually sharp limits on their partnership. And you didn't see them talking about limitless partnership during Xi's visit to Moscow. In fact, it's a very limited partnership where they both want to triangulate against the United States. They see the U.S. as their common enemy, but they also have a lot of divisions. And one of the big ones is that China is economically dependent on trade. It's the largest trading nation in the world, and it needs to trade with the United States. It needs to trade with Europe. It does not want to become as isolated and as sanctioned as Russia is. And so
Yeah, that's why they won't. That's why this whole thing about weapons, they'll never get weapons. Like the Chinese will never give the Russians weapons. Because if they do, that means that they're going to get sanctioned. They're going to get all the all the West is going to go against them and sanction the shit out of them, which is why they will not give weapons. They will give non lethal aid to the Russians, but they'll never give like straight up weapons to the Russians because it'll lead to all those sanctions that Russia's getting right now. Good to know that the war pigs are a warning signal. I mean, they're scared to death of this possible Russia China alliance. And if this alliance gets hold and somehow Xi Jinping managed to get peace in Ukraine, the United States is done as a world power. And that's embarrassing. If somehow we can't get peace, but the Chinese can, that's humiliating for us on the world stage. Warning: China is providing weapons to Russia as they provide weapons to Taiwan, China. The arrogance and hypocrisy. Hot take: NATO and U.S. are do the bidding of Applebee's. If China gives Russia baby back ribs, it's World War III. I mean, if China, that's why isn't China giving like non-lethal aid to like the Russian soldiers, like food and first aid and medical stuff like that? I thought they were, unless I'm missing something. Well, the petrodollar is done, and so are we. Yeah, yeah. I mean, why do the Russians already came to deals with India and China, economic deals? India needs Russian oil, so that's why they had to come to that deal. This is like 6 months ago or something. But I read about that, I was like, holy shit. Okay, it looks like most of these countries are bypassing the U.S. and coming to these economic deals on their own, and and selling oil. I think the oil is the China Russia ship has already sailed. But what was I saying? Yeah, I mean that deal is going to be paid for in Russian rubles, not even in between China and India, Russia and India. Now it's supposed to be paid for in rubles, not in U.S. dollars. So yeah, it's a matter of time. We're done. We're done. Bon voyage. All right, well, I'm going to wrap up here because it's almost 4 o'clock and I'm tired and I need to cook dinner. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. There's a lot of activity in the chat today, which I appreciate. Let me go longer than I normally would. So I thank you very much for watching. Please like the stream. Please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the INN channels. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to thank you very much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another stream. You're welcome, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow at the same time, 2:15 Eastern. So have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, Friday. So thank God it's Friday, huh?